Gratitude is not polite. It is not a list of nice words. Gratitude is a biological switch. When you write one honest line of gratitude, your brain turns off stress chemistry and turns on calm. It is survival, not sentiment. Neuroscience shows gratitude activates the same circuits that regulate fear, pain, even sleep. A single page can begin to rewire your emotional life. Today you will discover 7 gratitude journaling practices designed to calm anxiety, steady your body, and bring joy back into ordinary moments. Gratitude journaling is not about ignoring problems. It is the opposite. It teaches the nervous system to face them from a steadier place. Psychologists call this a shift in attentional bias, but in practice it feels like freedom. When you train your brain to notice what is stable, safe, and supportive, you reduce the power of what feels threatening. It is the moment when survival mode loosens its grip and presence returns. Gratitude journaling works because it changes what your brain rehearses each day. And what the brain rehearses, it remembers. If mornings set the rhythm of your day, they also decide whether anxiety walks beside you. The first thoughts after waking often predict the tone that follows. Rushing, replaying, worrying. But there is a simple interruption. Before touching your phone, write one single line of gratitude. One sentence only. It could be, "I am grateful for the smell of coffee," or "I am grateful that my body carried me through yesterday." This tiny act activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain that regulates emotions. With repetition, it becomes a signal to your nervous system that calm is possible, even at the very start. If mornings shape the way you begin, nights shape the way you let go. Many people lie down, but never truly rest, replaying conversations and unfinished tasks as if the day refuses to close. The 3-2-1 night reflection interrupts that cycle. Write 3 things you are grateful for, 2 small achievements you made, and 1 clear intention for tomorrow. 3, 2, 1. Gratitude calms the mind. Achievements reinforce worth. Intentions prepare the body for safety. Together, they close the day with balance, so your nervous system can release its guard and allow sleep to come naturally. The 3-2-1 gives you structure to close the day with calm. But some days the challenge is different. Not the racing thoughts, but the silence of the page itself. That is where prompts become powerful. A single question can open a door the mind would not find alone. Who touched my heart today, even in the smallest way? What challenge recently shaped me into someone stronger? Which part of my body feels like a quiet gift I often forget to thank? Prompts direct attention and make gratitude vivid. They turn vague lists into meaningful reflections that the brain encodes with more emotional weight, creating memories of resilience and connection instead of rehearsals of stress. Prompts open doors when the page feels empty. But what about the moments when anxiety is already spiraling, when the chest feels tight, the breath shallow, and the mind convinced that danger is everywhere? Gratitude here is not about listing blessings. It is about grounding. Ask yourself one question. What is one safe thing around me right now? It could be the steady breath I just took, the quiet presence of a pet, or the texture of a blanket in my hands. These small anchors redirect attention from threat to safety. They activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural brake. With repetition, gratitude journaling becomes not only reflection but regulation, a way of reminding your body that calm is still within reach. Gratitude can ground you in moments of anxiety, but its deeper power is in shaping mental health over time. If anxiety is the sudden storm, mental health is the climate that shapes how you move through life. To use gratitude for mental health, create a weekly gratitude growth tracker. Once a week, write 3 things. First, recurring supports. What keeps showing up as a source of strength? Second, new discoveries. What surprised me this week that lifted my mood? Third, shifts over time. How does this week compare to the last? And what patterns are beginning to emerge? This practice builds an archive of resilience. It shows you that even when stress feels overwhelming, you are surrounded by patterns of support. Gratitude for mental health is not about reacting to what went wrong today. It is about training your nervous system to remember what sustains you tomorrow. One of the most common questions is how to keep journaling simple without losing impact. The answer is the 5-line daily reset. 5 short lines cover everything you need. First, one thing you saw. Today I noticed the light on the window. Second, one thing you felt. I am grateful for the feeling of relief after finishing a task. Third, one thing you did. I am proud that I cooked dinner tonight. Fourth, one thing you received. I appreciate the advice my friend shared. Fifth, one thing you hope. I feel grateful for the chance to rest tomorrow. This practice works because it touches senses, emotions, actions, relationships, and hope in less than 5 minutes. It turns gratitude into a full-body experience and a quick reset you can return to anytime. Modern life often keeps us indoors, surrounded by screens and deadlines, disconnected from the rhythms that once sustained us. Yet nature has a unique power to restore balance. It lowers stress, slows the heartbeat, and reminds us that not everything is urgent. Nature-based gratitude combines this power with journaling. Spend a few minutes outside or even by a window and notice one detail that draws your attention. It might be the color of the evening sky, the sound of leaves moving in the wind, or the warmth of sunlight on my skin. Then write one line that begins with, "Today, nature reminded me of," and let the word that follows carry your reflection. Over time, your journal becomes a collection of reminders that calm is never far away, often just outside your door. Calm is not something you stumble upon. It is something you create. 1 line in the morning, 3 reflections at night, a single prompt when the page feels empty. Each practice is small, but together they form a ritual of safety and steadiness. Gratitude journaling will not erase every struggle, but it will give you a softer place to land and a way to train your nervous system toward balance. Your calm has a pattern. Once you see it, everything changes. Discover your personal anxiety profile in just 3 minutes and learn which practices will work best for you. Begin the quiz and let your own map to calm unfold. Click the link in the pinned comment or in the description and take the quiz now.